Hey, welcome back everyone. It is now August 21st of 2020, and ever since the very end of the Skywalker saga, a lot of fans around the world have been very intrigued about the future of the Star Wars franchise by Disney, Lucasfilm, Bob Iger, Bob Chapek, and exactly what's to come in the near future for the Star Wars TV shows, the movies, and more. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, the one thing about Disney Star Wars is that we do know that they are now currently in a phase of desperation and damage control to really get the ball rolling again when it comes to Star Wars. Essentially, what they want to do is they want to bring it to the same exact level as the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which, like I've said before in the past, that's going to take a lot of time and effort to really get that resolved and to actually get it to such a point to, they're going to have to rely on successful Star Wars movies and TV shows every single, year in a row in order to really get it to the same exact level as the MCU. Now, thankfully, they got Kevin Feige on board to really help with the structure of the new universe, especially when it comes to the movies. However, when we take a look at the sequel trilogy, there is no doubt about it that a lot of fans really do in fact agree that Kathleen Kennedy was very much incompetent at her job as the president of Lucasfilm and the mishandling, of course, of Star Wars. I mean, she really did a terrible job when it came to the overall continuity and how everything matched up with the movies and the lore and all. She really did not do as great of a job as she promised to George Lucas. Now, with that being said, of course, what's really intriguing all has to do with actor Harrison Ford and Lucasfilm's Kathleen Kennedy. Now, since the very end of the Skywalker saga, Disney and Lucasfilm, of course, have been trying to fix their ways of how they handle the actual Star Wars trilogy and how they actually will be handling everything moving forward. They have been focused on their new Star Wars universe as well as their new trilogy of movies, where it's explained that currently Bob Iger and Bob Chapek are developing over 10 years worth of Star Wars projects for Disney Plus alone. Now, it's noted that during and after the Rise of Skywalker premiere, many interviews were given to the actors and creators of the sequel trilogy, where at one point in time, actor Harrison Ford was questioned about the sequels sometime after the premiere of Episode 9. Ford went on to reveal something involved with Kathleen Kennedy and how it was generally her idea to not include the reunion of Luke, Han, and Leia, since she felt it would have taken away the focus of the new trio, Rey, Finn, and Poe. Now, Ford went on to reveal that he would actually have loved to have seen or witnessed that he would have actually loved to have actually seen to have had a full-fledged scene of all three characters being seen together on the big screen. However, Kathleen Kennedy was against the idea and that the scene was being worked on for The Rise of Skywalker and was even in the cards for, of course, Episode 9 entirely before it was canceled by Kathleen Kennedy. Now, Ford went on to state that even though he felt it was his own character's time at the very end of Episode 7, it was really Kathleen Kennedy's idea to do so in order to prevent a major reunion between the three main characters, since it would have taken up so much and too much time in Episode 9. Or, of course, even in Episode 8 at that, and that Ford even pitched an idea with Mark Hamill to have this scene done for Episode 7. However, those ideas were rejected by Kathleen Kennedy entirely, and that she was 100% against a reunion between Luke, Han, Leia, and yes, even Lando Calrissian from appearing on the big screen, since it would have really dissolved the overall attention of Rey, Poe, and Finn. Now, like I've said before in the past, this is not a strange thing, of course, of Harrison Ford to say this, or of Mark Hamill to even say this as well. They only wanted the best of Star Wars at the time when working on Episodes 7 through 9. Now, I would definitely like to say that it seems that Harrison Ford is far less passionate when it comes to Star Wars in comparison to Mark Hamill. You can really see the contrast there very, very clearly. Mark Hamill's more of a passionate Star Wars, fan per se. Yes, he is the actor of Luke, but he's very passionate of the overall structure of Star Wars, where Harrison Ford, it seems like it was more or less just a job for him to do in his acting career, kind of like with Indiana Jones. And we've known for a very long time that Harrison Ford prefers the Indiana Jones franchise over Star Wars. So when we look at Harrison Ford's take on everything related to how Kathleen Kennedy completely just wanted to ignore a reunion between Luke, Han, Leia, Luke, or should I say Lando, all those 4 characters and more, we could have gotten something so special. This was their missed opportunity of the sequel trilogy. This in and on itself would have made the sequel trilogy so grand to the point where I think it really would have boosted up the repeat viewings of episodes 7, 8, and even 9. Now, given that Harrison Ford believed that it was indeed Han Solo's time to end at the very end of The Force Awakens, he was all on board with that. But it was initially Kathleen Kennedy's idea to kill off Han Solo to prevent such a reunion in episode 8 and 9, and even at the end of 7, is because that would have actually taken away a lot of focus from Finn, Poe, and Rey. And that, to me, I think is a very weak, or a very, I guess you could say a very pathetic reason as to why Kathleen Kennedy would not want to actually have a reunion between the 3 iconic characters, not just in Star Wars, but in pop culture, is that it would have taken away the focus from, Finn, Poe, and Rey. I just don't understand that from Kathleen Kennedy's view. I don't even think that she 100% believed in what she was actually saying, is that what she really wanted is that she only wanted to push her own personal agendas in these Star Wars movies, and that's it. Sure, she probably knew that it would have been better off to have Luke, Han, and Leia on the big screen, having that major reunion. Yes, it would have boosted up ticket sales without a doubt, but what she wanted to do was she really wanted to invest in her own pride, displaying what she wanted to actually be seen on the big screen in theaters. And that's the one thing that I think a lot of fans had an issue with, is that Kathleen Kennedy was way too involved with the creative choices of the sequel trilogy movies. And that's a given fact here. When we look at what happened with The Force Awakens and how she was very much the primary reason as to why we got little to no Luke Skywalker in that movie because of the rewrites that took place. With episode 8, we didn't really have a lot of rewrites or a lot of reshoots at that. It was very, very, very minimal. To the point where we only had a 1-month delay. It was actually moved from January until February to shoot over in Ireland. It was really nothing, or Pinewood at that was set up as Ireland. When we look at everything by Kathleen Kennedy over the years, we can see that she really has mishandled Star Wars. The Last Jedi, Solo, and Rise of Skywalker, the 3 main movies where Kathleen Kennedy really failed at. Solo was more so with a box office standpoint. The Last Jedi, it was her approving creative decisions by Rian Johnson, and with The Rise of Skywalker, it was all about the reshoots and the rewrites in 2018 and 2019. So Harrison Ford's take on, the reunion between Luke, Han, and Leia, and how Kathleen Kennedy was the main reason as to why that did not happen, it just goes to show us that Kathleen Kennedy either A, really was doing this on purpose, or B, is just too naive to realize that, Star Wars needs to actually embrace those original characters if it's continuing the Skywalker saga. There's no doubt about that. If it's about the Skywalkers, they should have embraced those 3 main characters being seen on the big screen right from the get-go to really create enough momentum at the time for fans to really be fully invested in episodes 8 and 9 and what that could have looked like, right? So, like I've said before in the past, I think a lot of fans are very excited or curious, though at the same exact time very skeptical about what's to come in the next couple of years. However, for, the new Star Wars universe by Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, George Lucas, they're all working together as a team to deliver authentic Star Wars stories. I'm honestly very much excited to see what this Mandalorian Season 2 trailer is going to look like later this week into next week. It's right around late August, where we're going to be getting a lot of new footage of The Mandalorian Season 2, so keep your eyes open for all of that. That's going to be a very big highlight of August, where this October is when we're going to finally be able to watch the 2nd season of The Mandalorian. So at least we got some Star Wars material coming our way for, of course, streaming. So with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.